Hello, and thank you for listening to Gettin' Hard in Nate's Backyard. On this episode of Gettin' Hard in Nate's Backyard, we talk to Sacha Laskow of Every Hour Kills. Sacha, as well as playing in Every Hour Kills, is a master, obviously, guitar player. He's also a master engineer and producer. We talk about all things music in this. It was a really interesting conversation with him. We talk about touring, playing, recording, all of it. So I look forward to having Sacha back someday because there's just no way we could cover this all in around an hour. So thanks for listening to Gettin' Hard in Nate's Backyard. Enjoy. Holy fuck. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Nate's Knitting Party. Because I'm not allowed to call it Gettin' Hard in Nate's Backyard on iTunes. They can all go fuck themselves. God damn it. My guest today is Sacha. Hello, Sacha.
Hello.
And Nancy. Oh.
Hello.
Microphone accident. Unfortunate microphone accident. So I go through all my producers. This podcast is brought to you by BigNateProductions.com. Go there and click on all the links and look at all the events coming up. Sacha's band Every Hour Kills is playing April 3rd for the Metalfest. What are we calling it, Nancy? It's your birthday. It's Nancy's birthday.
Pre-launch
That's the important
fundraiser?
thing.
And pre-launch fundraiser.
Yeah.
It's my birthday party.
It's Nancy's fucking birthday.
Yeah. That's all that really matters.
I'm going to spin that wheel of death metal to see who plays when, too.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be a good night. I think it'll be fun. You'll have to have all your fans there early, Sacha.
Sure, yeah. Hey, fuck yeah.
You might go on first. You might headline.
Yeah. Yeah, hey. That's the luck of the wheel.
Fair of all. This podcast is also brought to you by CalgaryMetalfest.com. Go there, buy tickets. Every Hour Kills is playing that too.
Fucking rights.
Get in there. You got to see this shit. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And this podcast is also brought to you by RightHookMics.com, which is what my lovely guests are speaking on tonight. They're glorious. We're speaking through the metal mic, but there's 4 or 5 different ones. I think the metal mic's sold out right now. I saw that on the website. But go there. They're cheap. They sound good. If you're a singer, whatever, they're fucking comparable to a 58, but they're a PE 55 style Elvis-looking mic. If you're into that kind of thing.
Can we talk about the mics at some
Yes. Fuck yeah. Let's talk about it right now.
point? Okay. I'm just curious about them. Are they like made in China or what's the deal?
I believe they are.
Yeah.
But what the hell isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like 58s are made in China, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
sure.
like everything's like there's no. Even if it was assembled in Germany, it was fucking all the parts were made in China by some little kid, including all our iPhones.
Yeah. Some little 10-year-old working 16 hours a day.
Yeah, but you open that white box and you're like, oh my god, made in California.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. This will amuse me for 8 months and then go in the landfill.
Yeah, why aren't they mining for lithium in the landfills? I'm sure there's lots of it there. All this shit we've thrown away our whole damn life, for generations. Anyways, RightHookMics.com. Check them out. They're a killer. He did a lot of testing, I know, with them. Like, they did a bunch of, like, control stuff.
Okay.
And they sent it back a few times, and you know. But I believe James does do some finishing touches on it, you know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe some assembly or something, I'm not sure.
And how many models do they have? Like, they have condensers, dynamics? Or
No, they just have different versions of the mic you see in front of you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're cool. RightHookMics.com. So with no further ado, I would like to officially welcome Sacha to the podcast. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right, man.
Thanks for stopping by on a Wednesday night around 8 o'clock.
Fuck yeah. This gin is delicious.
Yeah, we're drinking gin. We should tell everybody that. Was it gin, club soda, and a little bit of lime?
Yeah, that's
Oh my!
it.
What do you call that? Is there a name?
Just gin and soda.
Oh, okay.
It's delightful.
Yeah, simple,
On the rocks,
simple,
right?
clean, modern.
On the rocks.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But everyone gives me shit for drinking gin because it's a girl drink, but it's like 47% fucking alcohol or something. Like, it's
Gangster.
pretty manly, I would say.
I honestly haven't drank gin since I was about 16, but that's no. Thank you. This is really good stuff.
Yeah, it's really good, right?
You've converted me over.
Yeah.
This is a first here for me.
This isn't your Beefeater bullshit.
No, that is shit. That's why, yeah.
Tastes like fucking pine tree and grandma.
Yeah. If you order a gin at the bar or whatever, then you always have to ask for a better brand like Bombay or something like that, because the standard gun gin is just fucking terrible.
Oh, like all of them.
Yeah.
What we did is, I have that bottle of Finlandia there. I have a buddy that keeps giving them to me because he hates vodka, but he keeps getting them for free.
That is absolutely.
Oh yeah, doesn't matter. If you take a Brita filter, like a fucking Brita jug, and you run vodka through that 3 times, dude, I'm telling you, there's a fucking difference. Remember we did the taste test?
Yeah, you can't taste that it's vodka.
Yeah, like the original vodka had this like Bible paper parchment taste to it,
Like rocket fuel.
and the
Still
other.
get drunk though?
Oh well, yeah, but that's
really.
that's the hangover. That's the hangover, right? So, is all that whatever the hell that is, that nail polish remover, whatever the fuck they cut it
Yeah,
with.
they cut it with fucking,
You
yeah.
get the drunk without the absolute horrible rocket fuel taste and without a hangover the next day. Highly recommended.
Wow. That sounds like the perfect solution.
When you're living on a budget, you got to really make the best out of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Make super vodka, everybody. This
Yeah.
podcast is brought to you by vodka and gin.
And gin, yeah.
So, I've known you for a long time. When do you think we met?
Oh, holy shit.
Fuck, like,
Ages ago, man.
like 03?
Yeah.
When did you
probably-
join
probably
Divinity?
over 10 years.
What year did you join Divinity?
I don't have a good memory for dates and whatnot.
I was just asking for a year. Was that like 03, 04 or something like that?
Something like that. That sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. So, yeah, over 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And before you joined Divinity, you were in the R.A.C.E, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you explain the R.A.C.E to me? We took over your old jam space.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Beside 1900?
Well, you guys had the room on the other side.
Yeah.
That would just single room with its own bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
That's the room we took over.
Right. Yeah.
Beside 1900. Oh, God.
Yeah, see how long ago it was?
I remember them.
Yeah, they were loud as fuck, too. Whenever
Yeah.
they jammed, the walls would just shake. Yeah. But we were pretty loud, too.
Yeah.
So
what was the R.A.C.E? That was Jared, who's now in Every Hour Kills with you. He was in that band, right?
Yeah, that's where I met Jared and Rob, eventually, our drummer as well. So I just started working at R.A.C.E Music. Pretty young, fresh out of high school-ish kind of thing, or a couple of years after. And then then Jared just started working there, and he was this, cool music guy, and I was looking for a band to play in, and so he showed me the shit he was working on with this other guy, Graham, and I thought it was really sweet. It was kind of mixing electronic stuff with like prog, like kind of Faith No More a little bit.
Is there any of that on the internet, you think?
Oh yeah, it's still somewhere. I posted it somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube,
You just
maybe?
look up the R.A.C.E, but it's like dots in between.
Yeah, the R.A.C.E. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually redid a song like 3 years ago. I just re-recorded it and
A R.A.C.E song?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, like I used the old vocals and stuff, and then I re-recorded all the guitars and remixed it and stuff like that. Just
Fuck,
that
that's
was
cool.
and that was the 10th anniversary of that album, so I just did that kind of as a fun thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's out there for sure if you wanted to.
Did you? Was it just you and Jared, or was it like a full band?
No, it was me, Jared, and Graham, who was the other guitar player. So Graham and Jared wrote a lot of it, and then there was another guy, Gil, who was kind of this guru guy, and he did all the recording and set up all the live rig. Like, basically for that time, we had this crazy futuristic live setup, like, which ultimately only got used like 3 or 4 times before we broke up. But it was all MIDI. It's kind of like, most bands do it now. It was all MIDI controlled light show and backing tracks, and we all had in-ear monitors. Like, it was pretty crazy for that time period for an independent band.
Yeah, for sure.
But
and a fucking pain in the ass for the sound guy.
well, basically, because Gil,
fuck the sound guy.
Yeah, well, Gil was a big audio guy. He was, he took engineering in school and stuff, and that's also who kicked me off into like getting into Cubase and stuff. But he basically didn't want to give the sound guy any control. He just gave the sound guy a stereo pair and said, "Turn it up." And then he controlled the mix from the stage. So it's pretty different.
I've been Jordan from Illuminated Minerva kind of tries to do that, right? Like, because he has that giant Spider drum kit and all that crazy shit, like 3 or 4 pedals or whatever it is, and all this. Which I understand, but there's certain things that I've almost got them there, where it's like, if you want to you got 5 toms, I dig it, but give me just like the stereo of the toms, so they're separate from, so here's one mono tom line, you're like, fuck.
Mono.
But, and then like, some of the samples are on the kick line, and it's like, dude, just give me that separate, like, give me like 4 or 5 channels, like, instead of 1 or 2.
Shit.
So, but yeah, it's always coming along with him. It's cool. I like being in the position where I am doing live sound, because now I know it from that side, right? And I have an insight from that side, so I can try and help, because I come from the musician, just like all of us, right? Just come from the musician side of it. I started doing it because they were pissing me off, so.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, a lot of them just don't give a fuck, right?
Well, yeah, and same with like recording engineers too, right? It's like, fuck, I care, and I'm going to do this shit as good as I can, right?
Yeah, sure.
Fair enough. So the R.A.C.E, and then you're in Divinity for a long time?
Yeah. So the R.A.C.E just kind of imploded. Like, Gil left, or we kicked him out or something. I don't remember exactly. I was more of a hired gun almost in that band. Like, I didn't write a whole lot. I just played my parts and kind of was just the guitarist. And so Gil left, and then that's how we actually met Rob, because we had electronic drums.
Oh, Rob Shawcross.
Yeah, Rob Shawcross. So
cool.
But then Gil left. We wanted to get a real drummer. And then this kid, he was like fucking 19 or 20. This kid's like, "Hey, let me try." So
yeah.
So we go to his.
Still looks like he's 19.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we still go to his jam pad, and he just fucking blows us away. This crazy drummer was like he had all his chops already, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's a fucking hard hitter.
Yeah. So that blew our minds, because we'd been auditioning actually for a while, and you get an amazing amount of shit. Like, people are like, "Oh yeah, we can do it, man." They talk a big talk, and then you get there in the jam space, and you're like, "Holy fuck, this is fun."
And sorry to divert for a second, but that's when they were like, "Oh, Fast Forward's last issue." I was like, "Man, I'm gonna miss those Musicians Wanted ads," because that's where we.
Oh, for sure, that's probably where we found them. Yeah,
that's how I met everybody in the city. That's how I met Wes. That's how I met fucking everybody I've ever known.
Yeah,
it's like through connections of that Fast Forward. It was a free Musicians Wanted ad anybody could put in, which made it with what you're talking about, where you get all these guys who are like, "Oh yeah, I've never played in my life, but watch me, I'm gonna blow you away, man. It doesn't matter if I've never been on stage, it doesn't matter."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so good in front of my mirror.
Yeah, they can talk a big game, and but then you get to the jam pad and you're just like, wow, you're really terrible.
The singers, man, the singers.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! It's just.
And hey, I mean,
I can do 7 octaves. Oh yeah. Okay.
you know, in their defense, it's demanding shit. Like it was programmed drums originally, so it was like octopus arms kind of shit to play. But you know, you can tell instantly in 5 seconds when you see someone play if they have groove or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if they have timing or not.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't.
Yeah,
It doesn't
pretty
matter,
much.
you know. It doesn't matter if you know this fill or that fucking scale or whatever. If you have no rhythm,
Yeah,
then you're fucked.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
So fucked.
Yeah. It's pretty important part of music.
Yeah,
Rhythm.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
You got rhythm and then you got melody.
yeah.
So you better have those two down.
Fucking A. Fucking A. So yeah, then the race ended. Do you have anything else you want to say about that?
So we were getting, you know, Rob in the band, but it just didn't end up working out. You know, we I don't even think we played a show with him. We just basically imploded. Personal bullshit and drama and whatever else the fuck it was. I don't know. Lots of.
Isn't that
things.
funny when you're in your 20s? It's like that shit, you just cannot fucking avoid it.
Yeah.
But like now, like for example, with my band, I'm like, the other night I was just like, Jesus Christ, it's so fucking awesome to be standing here.
Yeah.
You know, with people where if I say something like, let's change this line or let's try this fill or some stop or something, they don't get all fucking like personally butthurt. Like, you know, you could see like back in the days in the 20s, like people are like almost about to cry because you're like, I just wanted to make it a double chorus. Like, is that, you know, it's not an attack on you. You know, it's like we're trying to play music here.
Yeah.
It's for the song, the greater thing for the song. But I always ended up becoming the asshole. That's no big surprise, but that's okay.
Well,
it's probably the way I word it.
Yeah, you know, it's personalities. You know, you get strong personalities of people wanting to be leaders or whatever. Like, if you don't agree on a system of how things are going to go necessarily, then that can cause conflict, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Who's the songwriter? You know, they should get ultimately the end say on the song.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to have that veto power or else you'll just spin your wheels kind of ultimately, right? I mean, you can definitely obviously try and collaborate and get everyone's ideas in there, but
trying to make it an even split like just almost never works.
Yeah, it never works.
Because you have to have that guy with that one more percentage point that can be like, fuck, you know,
there's got to be a majority vote,
yeah,
you know, to get anything done.
Yeah.
And so that's an issue is when you don't set up those boundaries right away, then it comes into question when you have a bunch of fucking alpha dogs barking, you know, and trying to get their say in there.
That's what happens with really good bands too. The really good bands are all like alpha dicks, and then they just can't, you know, like they end up breaking it. Well, maybe not the really, you know, whatever. Guns N' Roses was obviously
sure, yeah.
It's like all these
huge alpha dicks,
every single one of them. Fucking Axl Rose is still one, even though he's failing so bad.
Yeah,
he's like still like
fat.
I'm fucking Axl Rose.
Yeah, he can still get laid.
Jesus.
You know, the other thing that is big in young bands was, or for me, has always been a fighting point is money too, right? Like, you know, you're trying to make it or whatever, and you got to put a lot of money into that shit. You know, you got to print the T-shirts and blah, blah, blah. So that always ends up pressuring a lot of relationships, I find, when you're bringing business into your friendships and stuff
money.
like that.
Well, and I've always said being in a band too, it's like being married to 3 or 4 dudes, but you can't fuck them.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah,
so
pretty much.
There's no like release of anything.
Well,
and then you're bringing in finances, and you're bringing in, you know, all this like
career
personal shit. But you can't go over that line, and you can't go over that line. It's like in that kind of dynamic to make that fucking work is like. It's like that fucking crazy thing they built out in CERN. You might as well be smashing fucking atoms together, for Christ's sake.
I know,
watching the Big Bang happen.
Well, yeah, it's so rare.
You have to, like you say, if you don't set it up right away, it comes into question, and then everything's just fucky. With what you just said with the finances, the best it ever worked for me in a band was when Kill You Kai started. And I was like, fuck it, we're doing this. If you want to be in this band, it's $100 a month each, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it was whoa. It's like, yeah, if you can leave and not pay.
Yeah.
It's fine. You don't need to be here. Anybody wants to be here, pays $100 a month to say they want to be here.
Yeah.
And that was fucked, because when you start, we were a 6-piece. And you start saving $600 a month. Our first show, I remember Greg Musgrave walked up to us and was like, fuck, you guys have a banner and you have merch and hoodies and shit? How the fuck did you pull? And you're awesome? Like, how'd you fucking do that? And it was like, band tax, motherfucker.
Sure.
And he was like, what? Huh? And
yeah, every band I've ever been in has done that, because it's
really?
Like,
Oh,
absolutely.
Cool.
It's like, because you need money for those things. Like you said, you're going to need money for a banner, for shirts, for fucking all that shit. So why have it be a surprise, like, hey guys, fuck, we need $400 each for a video. Oh, fuck, what do we do? Nobody wants to do that.
Exactly. It takes the pressure off in that way, because it's more pressure, blah, 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 in a different way. Because you're like, oh my God, where am I going to find this $100 every month? But hey, just like, don't buy a few cases of beer or something.
That's the thing.
Like,
it's
just
not
like,
that much money.
Don't go out to the show that night. And fuck, you'll be fine.
It's not that much money if you have a fucking job or whatever, and you have a normal income. Then $100 a month, you better be able to do that into your passion or the thing you care about a lot.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, it surprised me so much how far ahead it got us, like, instantly. Like, now, if you want to be, like, fucking paying your way onto big festivals, and, you haven't done anything in a year or two, and you got fucking 3, 6, 8 grand in the bank, you're like, holy fuck, let's go to Europe, like, could you, like, fuck. So that's
we
cool.
never
In
got
the
that far ahead.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I know it's easy when you have it. You're like, we gotta spend it.
Yeah, it seems there's always something. Yeah, like there's never much of a float in ours, because there's always these things coming up. Like, oh, we need a lyric video. Oh, we need stickers, or we need that. Like, it is always getting churned through for sure.
Yeah,
and then some. Like we still have to pop up, a few extra 100 here and there still.
Right. Yeah. Fuck. And we're just doing it, like on our own, like independent, just doing it, trying to get out there as much as we can. Like, it's not like it's Toronto and we're paying to get on big festivals, like I was saying, or something like that. We're not doing that. It's just, to exist, it costs that much. Yeah. Pretty nuts.
Yeah. You're just trying to get your shit heard, so you gotta have that pro aspect.
That's what I was gonna say. Is in the end, it just makes it more pro, because you can, put the right resources in the right place and fucking make sure that album sounds fucking killer. And it's that little bit extra to stick here and there. Yeah,
well, you only get one chance with people when they first hear you, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna see your art right away, probably, and they're gonna hear your production right away.
Yeah, and in 5 seconds they're gonna make a judgment call.
Yeah, that's it. They're gonna they don't have time for this. If it's I hear a lot of bands say like, well, we'll just put this one out, and next time we'll go full out. And it's like, well, guess what? Everyone that hears your half-assed thing this time is not gonna be checking you out again, probably.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
So
C'est la vie.
Yeah. So
go hard, get hard, go hard.
Yeah, get fucking hard. Don't half-ass shit, because you won't get a second chance.
Yeah,
probably.
It's true. Probably.
There's so many bands, and there's so many good bands now.
That's right. Well, that's the thing with the internet. It's really changed.
Yeah, it's insane.
The labels don't run the whole world, so they can't just shelf everybody.
Yeah, man.
So, but in turn, there's like a fuck ton of bands, and it makes it like just totally overwhelming for the consumer, I think.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, there's no filter.
They're just getting off on stealing it. They're like, oh my God, you stole the whole world. Like, all the music.
I've got 4 terabytes of music I've never fucking heard.
Yeah, that I'm never going to listen to.
Yeah. Well, even myself as like a fan of, like a hardcore fan of metal.
Yeah.
There's tons of bands that I like forget about, Like,
right.
Great bands that I just don't listen to for a long time because they don't come up for whatever reason, and then I'm like, oh yeah, fucking Pain of Salvation, holy fuck, they're amazing.
Yeah,
and then you throw that disc on. But
that always happens with me in the Faceless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I forgot how rad this album is. You know?
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
if you can
shit.
forget shit that's that good, then you better not be shitty because you're super fucked.
I don't know, unless you're like focusing your marketing campaign in Bulgaria or something.
Yeah. Bulgarian market's
Yeah,
pretty
we're-
strong right now.
We're going for Lithuania. Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah. That's like... But they do pay fucking royalties, those fuckers. That's like... The only SOCAN payment I ever got was some fucking obscure Bulgarian video play or something.
Really?
Yeah, so I was stoked on
Even
Bulgaria.
in Canada, you're not getting any
No, I
royalties.
got
but you're
shit
getting-
from Canada,
I know,
shit
it's-
from the U.S., but Bulgaria was like, yeah, we played your video, here's some cash. I don't know where they got the cash or who.
Putin.
Yeah.
So, do you... If you don't want to talk about this, that's cool. I dig it. But do you want to talk about the whole label experience when you were in
I want
Divinity?
to talk about whatever. It's all fair game.
Like,
I'm an open
when you were in
book.
Divinity, you guys got signed to a label, right?
Yeah, correct.
And
Twice.
It was a label out of Germany, was it not?
Yeah. Well, they had offices all over the world, but based in Germany, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, do you want to expound on that at all? Like, was it what was the experience like for you? Did you feel like, man, I just got it in the butt and fucking
Sure,
I'm
in some
never
ways.
doing that again? Like, or you know what I mean? Because we're in this weird fucking time, like we're talking about, where the big labels are dying because
Yeah.
they're sucking,
Yeah.
and you know, there's all this independent music that can be easily made by rad guys like us. So,
Yeah. Well, it's a gray area like anything. You know, it wasn't as simple as yes, this was good or bad. Like it
Right.
was a bit of both.
right,
You know, yeah. So what happened was we just did our album, and we went all out on it. You know, we spent a bunch of money. We got loans and credit lines and all kinds of shit
Okay.
to get a big producer to mix it. To Madsen, who at the time was doing, you know, a lot of big shit like Nemec and a bunch of stuff.
bunch of rad shit.
Yeah, he was doing lots of good stuff. He was pretty hot, so we got him to mix and master, and I recorded it at my place. And
Here's a quick question: like, he works with this label a lot. Is that kind of
No, this is before. This is before the
label?
label.
That was before. Okay.
Yeah, so this was all independent. We just wanted to make the best fucking CD we could.
Yeah.
So we went all out and we had this CD. And we were like, okay, great. Well, I guess we should go on tour. That's what bands do.
Yeah.
So we fucking got a van and
Bought
rented
a van?
Yeah, we bought a van. Again,
Trailer?
on the credit line.
Trailer.
Yeah, and well, I think we rented a trailer at that time, but
Oh, okay.
bought one later. And we just hit the road and did an independent Canadian tour,
Right.
all around Canada, and you know, it was pretty shit, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
no one fucking knew who we were, you know, playing Hamilton on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
How's it gonna be? It's gonna suck balls. So, you know, with some good shows interspersed here and there, like some bigger shows out in Montreal and stuff like that. We opened for like Ion Dissonance and
Oh, cool.
yeah, so some better shows here and there scattered throughout. But anyway, so we get back, and you know, we're pretty disheartened. We're like, holy shit, that was brutal. We just spent a ton of fucking money, and you know, nothing's really happening. So we were kind of disheartened. Anyways, so we just took a little time off from each other, went and did our own thing for a bit. And we had sent out a bunch of press kits. So we made these wicked press kits with like black envelopes and big
Yeah.
glossy pictures and
Yeah.
stickers and shit, and we sent them to all the labels. And so, you know, the labels, after they saw what we were doing, basically, and that's what a label wants to see, is that you're doing everything yourself first. You know, they're not interested in developing bands that much anymore. I find, at least the bigger labels, I don't think are. That was our case anyway. So they just took the CD, they wanted to re-release it. And this is Nuclear Blast, you know, one of the biggest metal labels there is.
Yeah.
You know, Meshuggah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we just got an email from them saying, hey guys, we like this, we like the disc, we saw you're going on tour and doing all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to work with you.
Cool.
Yeah, so and then it started happening from other labels, like
right.
we heard from Roadrunner.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we heard from some other people.
Holy fuck. Wild.
Yeah, so
that's what they're looking for, though, is like not only did they invest into the recording to make it fucking awesome, but they're out there working to promote it. Like
exactly.
that defines a working band.
Yeah.
Like if you sorry everybody, but including myself, but if you're not doing that, you're not really a working band.
Sure.
Like it's one thing to play around town and whatnot, but it's another thing to really fucking put your nuts on the line and go, and come back disheartened, and your girlfriends are pissed, and you're broke as fuck, and you're begging people for fucking everything, and
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what they want. Sickly enough.
Yeah, that's what they want. Is you to be under the poverty line.
give up everything and fucking hit the road, bitch.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Continue.
Yeah,
we've established that.
So when you're trying to negotiate a deal, it's best to be in any sense, it's best to be in a position of power where you have leverage to negotiate, which we didn't really have. We didn't have a huge following or we didn't have a ton of sales. That's the best position to be in when you're negotiating with a label or whatever.
Yeah. We sold 20,000 in Canada.
Yeah, then you're picking and choosing the label that you want and saying, well, we're going to fucking do it this way.
Yeah.
But, with us, it was like we tried to counter their shitty terms.
Right.
Which
they just give you the shit deal.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, shit deal D to these guys.
Yeah, which is actually a standard record contract is fucking terrible.
Right.
It's like, it's
they started terrible.
Yeah.
And then you have to work them up.
Yeah, so we basically waited, and they kind of upped the terms a little bit because we kind of just waited and didn't say yes right away. Yeah. So they're like, well, okay, we'll give you a little bit more. But then after that, they wouldn't negotiate. They're like, take it or leave it. And so we're like, well, fuck, this is an amazing opportunity, even though the numbers are shit. It's like, well, we're going to be released beside Meshuggah and Nile and fucking Demi Borgir and stuff. So it's like, fuck it, we got to do this,
Wow.
So we did it. And, long story short, we ended up getting dropped. We didn't sell enough. We sold, actually, in today's terms, would be on Billboard chart, what we sold back then. But,
which was like, what, 07, 8?
Yeah, I think,
somewhere around there.
2006 or 7 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we sold about 5,000 worldwide. Which today would be fucking awesome. You'd be on the Billboard Heat Seekers chart.
Right.
Easily.
Right.
So, but back then, it was kind of medium.
Everybody still thought there was a music business.
Yeah.
Aerosmith just sold 100,000 this week.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. It was definitely going downhill, but it wasn't as far as it has dropped. So, and that's basically what those labels do: is they'll throw a bunch of bands kind of at the wall and see what sticks. And whatever, out of 10 bands, maybe 1 or 2 will kind of catch fire and sell a lot, and those will be the bands that they'll then continue with, and the other ones can just kind of go fuck themselves.
Yeah, it's fucky. I mean, it's their money too that they're putting out there and shit like this. Like, they have to be fucking dicks like that.
Sure, it's a business.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's a business, and I'm sure they've gotten burned putting too much faith in some band, and then fucking buddy knocks up his girlfriend and they break up the next day, and it's like, well, we just put $250,000 into you fucks.
Yeah.
And now, fuck, we're fucked? Like, I'm sure.
But what a label does,
sucks.
And maybe we should talk about that. Most people don't know how a record contract works, and maybe it doesn't matter anymore, but basically,
it's very interesting. People don't know this shit.
Sure, they don't. Yeah. And it is interesting in a holy shit, this is legal kind of way.
If it's on paper, it's like Judge Judy says, the 4 corners of this agreement.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other side. No one put a gun to your head and made you sign it. You fucking signed it. Deal with it, right? But basically, what they do is loan you money. So there's not a lot of money that is actually spent. it's called an advance, and a record label will advance you X amount of dollars, and that comes back off the sales. So basically you get an advance, and then you also negotiate a percentage of the sales that you'll get as the band.
Probably above a certain quantity too. Or
well,
something.
no, that's the thing. You don't see that percentage until the advance is paid back.
Right.
So you get your 15%, or in our case, I think it was 12%. So that's how shitty it is.
Right.
But you don't even see that 12% until the advance has been paid back.
Of like five digits,
whatever it is. In our case, it was 20 grand at that point. So and so basically we never paid the advance. Like I think we still get statements every 6 months from Nuclear Blast that you're negative 3,000 euros.
Oh fuck,
or something. And so the nice thing fucked, right? But the nice thing, and nobody talks about this shit. But the nice thing in a sense...
fuck them. We can talk about whatever we want. We're getting hard in Nate's backyard. Fuck.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like fucking... I don't know if they're scared, or if it's just a big secret, or if it's like Fight Club. Like, I don't get it. But, yeah, I'll talk about it. Fuck it.
Cool.
And,
I like it.
Yeah, the thing about an advance that's good in that sense is that you're not personally responsible. It's not like a loan to you as a person. It's a loan to the band. So So we don't have to ever,
to your company.
You
have to incorporate your band.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. You're not personally responsible. Divinity is responsible.
Right.
But I'm not responsible.
Right.
So I don't owe them money. Cold hard cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one aspect of how those deals work. And then basically they'll sign you for X amount of albums, and then they'll also have what's called an option, which means basically you show them your album and they can say yes or no, we want it. So they get first kind of dibs on your album if they want to put it out. But if they don't, then you're let go of the contract. So that's what happened to us.
So they enforce the option.
Oh yeah, the option is theirs. Yeah.
Yeah, they put that in the contract.
Yeah,
that we have the option.
Yeah, we signed you for one album plus.
It's not like you get more points because they put that in there or something. That's what I was trying.
No,
right? No. Yeah, it's not like they're like, oh well, if you let us put the option in here, we'll give you 15.
No, basically the option is kind of a standard part of it, and it's even worse nowadays. Like we did another deal later on with Candlelight because we got dropped from Nuclear Blast.
Right.
So then we signed for Singularity. We signed with Candlelight.
Right. I remember that.
And that was X amount of years later, whatever, 4 or 5 years later. And that deal was even worse.
Really?
Yeah. So
I thought because they were a more obscure label, it might have been.
Well, yeah, it was better percentage-wise. Like the royalty percentage was higher, but there was zero advance, so no money given, and just in general the amount of promotion and stuff they did was less. But now labels are dipping their fingers in all the aspects of a band, which is called the 360 deal.
360 deal.
Yeah, which because they need to make money and albums aren't selling,
so they're taking points off of merch, taking points,
touring, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what your guarantees at your shows, which fuck, I mean, I don't know. That's where it gets at that point. It's like, holy fuck, man, like Serial. Are you serial, bro? Yeah. Like, it's like you're going to take point. Like, I remember we opened for Iced Earth and Killikai, and this fucking guy at Mac Hall he's like, where's your merch? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And my wife was doing merch, and she's like, this fucking guy keeps saying I have to give him all your merch, and like, he's taking points. And I'm like, fuck that shit. Yeah. And I walked up to him, some big guy, he thought he was going to fuck with me. and I'm just like, what's this? He's like, oh, I work for, whatever, and I take 20 points. That's how it runs here. I'm like, listen, do you want the fucking $20 right now? Because we're going to sell 5 fucking t-shirts. So do you want the fucking $20 right now? And he's just like, whoa, like, settle down. I'm like, listen, man, we're the first fucking band. We have 12 inches of stage space, okay? We're going to play in front of 25 fucking people, all right? Do you want the fucking $20 right now? I'll give it to you to fuck off. And he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's like, fuck. Yeah. Like, so now you'd have that guy.
Oh yeah.
And the label,
Well, yeah.
and like, because when you're doing those big stadium shows, that's how they run it.
Yeah,
they're like,
even bigger clubs are like that.
In the States, it's big right here.
Even out east, that happens.
Really?
Yeah, like on any bigger shows, like theater shows and stuff.
Right.
They charge you for them to sell your merch, and that's the only option.
It's the only option.
Yeah, that's it.
You can't
can give them a percentage, or you can not sell merch. Yeah.
Like, that's, no wonder everybody's just like fingers in the air. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, just like everybody eat it, man. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to fucking do.
Yeah.
Just put it out myself and promote it myself better.
Yeah.
Than,
and that's kind of where I'm at now, and it's still a big gray area because like, yeah, you can do everything yourself if you know what a label does.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What do? You can break it down. They hire a PR company to promote your shit and get your stuff on on websites and blah blah blah, and they work with distribution to get your stuff in stores. Like, so if you can replace all those functions yourself and pay for it yourself, then
put out your own promo packs. Put out your own. Yeah. Like,
then maybe you don't need a label, but. The other side of it, obviously, is the prestige factor, which is a big thing because a lot of those companies, PR companies and booking agents won't talk to you if you're not signed. So as much as you might want to go your own way and do it yourself, they won't talk to you if you're not signed. And a lot of people don't give a shit about bands. I mean, that's changed in the last few years, but
it's true.
A lot of people... wouldn't listen to any bands that weren't signed. It's like, hey,
right.
This is what is coming to my eyeballs and my ears and being fed to me, so I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah, I trust that source.
Yeah, those labels were kind of the filters back then, but
yeah,
I think less so now.
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, the label thing is wild. It's anytime that something is mysterious, like the person seems like a magician, right? Like fucking, for us, like we both are producers and we record and shit. And it's like you can just see it in people's eyes. Like when you finally start, or when you get a good mix and all this stuff, or you're doing it, it's just because they don't know it. It seems like such fucking magic, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing with the labels, where it's like, yeah, like what you're saying, where if if you know the functions of this and you can perform it yourself, why not, right?
Sure, it's and it all comes down to money, really. I mean, you can buy onto big tours as opposed to having a label clout get you on there.
Yeah.
And
what I wanted to say too is I think there's some I can see a function of a label when you have these bands, and they used to thrive off this, obviously, but when you have these bands that are like, yo, bro, I just want to play, man. I just want to play. And, like, they just keep them all doped up and fucking, it's like send them the bill at the end. And hopefully they sell a bunch of fucking records, and there you go, right?
That's what lowered the value and allowed labels to push such shitty deals, is because people were fucking signing them. So, so why change? Like, it's like anything. If it gets accepted as a status quo, as a normal thing, then why would the people on top want it to change? It's working great for them.
Course. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
do you know Kelly J? He's a local kind of celebrity, sort of.
Oh.
Kelly J. He was in Crowbar, the Canadian rock band from the 70s, not the American fat guy
not
metal
the fat
band.
metal. I used to like those guys.
What a Feeling, What a Rush. You hear it on like 107 all the time.
Oh, it sounds kind of familiar. I don't know him personally, though.
Okay, I work at the Slaughterhouse. I worked with him a couple times because he's like fucking broke as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
From one of these deals, and like they recorded, like the first Crowbar record went fucking huge. It went massive, and it came out in like the early 70s, and it went fucking huge. He was telling me like they were rolling around in limos all the time. They Pierre Trudeau signed their fucking paperwork to go into the U.S. and all this shit, and they were hanging out with Margaret Trudeau and all this fucking craziness, just partying like motherfuckers all the time.
Yeah.
And then Nixon came in
doing
and
rails with the Queen.
Well, the Queen of Canada, pretty much, like. or the princess or something. And you're at this orgy too. Wow. But then Nixon came in and he made all those laws in the States where you couldn't do drug references. So like they were just about to break into America, and they had been recording at Sony Studios in New York, and John Lennon was on the record, and all this shit. He was telling me all these epic fucking stories.
Yeah.
So they had this concept for their second record where they were at the Toronto like fairgrounds or whatever in the winter, but they were all in shorts, and like that was the concept for their record cover. And he's like, I was marlin fishing in Florida, and I got this message, you got to come to a meeting in New York. And he was like, there was all these label dicks there, and the band showed up, and there was this dick lawyer there, and he starts explaining. He goes, listen, we think this album is so revolutionary, we think it's so ahead of its time, that we simply want to call it by its catalog numbers. KE4372. It was like this magenta cover with this big white on the side, and he's like, we all looked at each other and we said, fuck it. And they broke up right there.
Wow.
And he's like, I didn't see any fucking money from that. He's like, that lawyer came up with that concept, so he got art credit on the record, and they cut him a check for $750 right in front of us.
Nice.
And he still gets a bill. He still owes them $1,200. He's like, I get a bill from Sony like every month. And then now, like, the catalog, and then he goes on to explain that, like, fucking all the parties, all the limos, all that shit is just like what you're talking about, where it's like, we're going to take it off your sales.
On their tab,
and
yeah.
like, you're not going to throw the party, we're going to throw the party. Duh. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
And they were just so caught up in it. But it was working because it was selling and all this stuff. So
Yeah. So the moral is get a good lawyer.
Well, yeah, interesting. I mean, my comedian buddy, Jason Rouser, he's going to be on the podcast April 1st, by the way, which is going to be super nuts.
Awesome.
And he may or may not do 10 or 15 minutes at that show on April 3rd.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, he's going to be a
love his
special
shit.
guest.
Fucking hilarious.
I'm not really supposed to. I can announce it here. Who gives a fuck about Yuck Yucks? Fuck Yuck Yucks. I don't care. Yuck Yucks Rouse is playing at the fucking Nancy's birthday party, and there ain't shit you can do about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you mind, dude?
I'll even let him spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Could you make me another one?
Yeah.
We're gonna make another drink here and get back to you. Cheers.
out and I want it all. The stars will align to show us a better way. Proving you're willing to let go. It's never ending. The stars will align, a show of infinity. Proving you're willing to let go.
Oh shit, that was Every Hour Kills. What was the name of that song?
Oh shit. Almost Human.
You guys will be playing with those shit on April 3rd at Dickens Pub as
That's
part
right.
of the
Yeah. How fucking
Nancy's
ironic.
birthday party.
I love the mixed bill.
Yeah, it is. It's a wild
You know,
mix.
some people will see you that never would. And vice versa.
And
for all
never will
bands, you
again,
know?
probably.
Oh. No, you're going to make a bunch of new fans, right?
Oh yeah. No, it's good because you get a whole bunch of people coming out and checking shit out and having a good time, hopefully. And if not, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, if not, you're going to get bounced up the stairs, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saw a couple of those last night at the Real Mackenzie's. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, St. Patty's Day, people were extra soused.
Oh, well, that happened to me at Calgary Metalfest.
You got kicked
too.
out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you get crazy or what?
Yeah, I got a little weird, yeah.
What?
Shit got cray.
Wow.
Kicked out
Yeah.
of Dickens?
Yeah, I got kicked out of Dickens. I got forcefully escorted out.
Holy shit. I wish there was video on that.
Yeah, it was pretty
Were
funny.
you throwing bows in the pit or what?
No, it was drug related.
Oh. God damn it.
Yeah, I got really
Tricky
hammered.
balls?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Fair enough. Oh well.
They let me in the next day. I apologized. And
Yeah,
I talked to
That's the great thing about Metal Fest.
Yeah, I talked to the manager and she's like, "Well, just don't do it again." And I was like, "Yeah, fine."
Love it. Oh, awesome. So how long have you been recording for? Fuck, a long time, man. Like
Long
10
fucking
years?
time, yeah. Over 10 years now, yeah. Yeah, I just started with a fucking like cassette 4-track, you know.
Me
like,
too.
yeah.
Was it a Tascam?
Yeah, like a Tascam or a Fostex or one of
I had a
those.
blue Tascam. That's what I started with when I
Yeah.
was 19 fucking years old.
Yeah, man, pretty
Hilarious.
much same story. And I just wanted to lay down my own tunes. I had like a drum machine and a guitar pedal, and I just that's how I started programming
Wild.
my own stuff.
Programming to tape.
Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah, how fucking limited it was. You know, the shit you would have to do, like bouncing tracks,
Right,
so that
totally.
you would have more tracks.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that doesn't matter anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
but it was just an amazing feeling hearing my stuff kind of more completed.
Not in your head.
Yeah, not in my head and not just guitar. Like it was more of a composing feeling, you know. So that was huge, and I just got super passionate about it and just wanted to do it all the time. From there, and then yeah, like I said, the Gil in the R.A.C.E got me into the computer world, got me into Cubase, which was what I learned on and what I still use. And that was another, you know, mind-blowing epiphany, was the power of the computer side, right? Like seeing all the waveforms and having a grid that you can cut shit up, and you know, it was a whole nother fucking level.
Totally.
And yeah, I just kept doing it for myself, and then like, yeah, basically when Divinity got signed and stuff like that, I started having people ask me about it because I recorded it, you know, I tracked it, and had people say, "Hey man, can you make us sound like that, and we'll pay you and stuff." So I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. So I gave it a try with a couple bands. Like I think Day One was one of my first bands that I ever recorded for money, kind of thing.
Cool.
And it just snowballed from there. I just started sucking up all the knowledge I could on the internet, and started talking to engineers, like, you know, picking Stu Madsen's brain and picking Andy Sneap's brain, you know, whoever would fucking answer my questions.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Know? And, you know, the big one was Andy Sneap had a forum.
Yeah.
And still does, but it's
it's
not
awesome.
I've seen you go there.
Yeah, it's a fucking treasure trove of shit, because back in the day he had all these dudes on there, like Stu Madsen was on there, and you know, all these guys were on there, and you could just fucking ask Andy Sneap a question and he'd answer it, you know, like he's pretty open. He doesn't believe in secrets when it comes to recording, because he knows that you don't have his skills, you know. So he says, yeah, here's my fucking setting, go to town. Psh, good luck.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not going to sound like me.
Yeah.
So it was, but you know, a big stepping stone was just little tips and tricks that you learn from guys like that, and just the experience of trying shit out.
Yeah. I was lucky enough, I talked about this on the last podcast with Tommy and Riley there. They flew up Paul Sabou in 2010.
Yeah.
And I was his engineering while he was producing.
Yeah.
At the Slaughterhouse. They had that big old Harrison MCI board there. It was like fucking just giving me ball cancer sitting under it. It was so fucking big and old, but and it was making the room really hot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really hot.
Huge fucking power supply.
But one of the biggest things I learned from him, I'd be like asking him, you know, I'm like right there with him, so I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, what's your thought process behind this? You know, and he's like, dude, I was probably sounded like that and was really annoying.
Yeah.
But he was just like, does it sound good? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, that's what you do. Like,
nice.
If it sounds bad, you try to stop that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, holy fuck, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
You know, just weird stuff like that. Some of those Sneap tricks I've seen too, it's like, god damn it, I didn't think of doing that. Like, duh, makes so much sense, you know.
Yeah,
compress a little bit of that there, and it's like, whoa, oh, there you go.
Yeah,
you know,
and
like,
a lot of that shit is problem solving, and that's kind of what it comes down to. Is you have to have the experience to solve problems, and the, I guess, creativity to solve problems. Because
absolutely, troubleshooting.
Yeah, because that's what audio is. There's so many variables.
Yeah,
so many things that can be different from time to time, that there's no fucking setting that works every time. There's no mic that works every time. There's no guitar that works every time. Every band and every situation, every instrument is a different variable. So you have to have the kind of ocean of knowledge to pull from when you run into a problem of, why does this sound bad? Why is it not working? What can we do to fix that? And then you have to have a list of a million fucking options to try. You know, and that's, like I was talking about that in my recording class, that a lot of people are looking for secrets and settings. And, you know, what's your setting, Joey Sturgis? What
preset do you use?
Yeah, what's your guitar setting? And it's like, it doesn't fucking matter, because he came up with his setting to solve a problem of making it sound good in the mix at that moment in time. So if you can't do that, then his setting won't help you next time.
That's why the knob goes from 0 to 10.
You know,
as opposed to just from on to off, because
there's
try and get it right for the situation.
There's so many situations, so many variables. You have to just fucking experiment and try shit yourself. And
well, that's what I was going to say. Have the experience, I think.
Yeah, have the
just
experience.
Keep doing that forever. Right?
Yeah, and you also have to train your ears to know when it's working and when it's not, right? That's the thing, is a guy like that knows when it's good, whereas someone else might not. You know, they might say, hey, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, you know, it won't work good in context. You know? Yeah. So you have to train your
because it
ears.
sounds great in your fucking bedroom doesn't mean it's going to be awesome live.
Right.
Or in the studio.
Or
this
you
is
just...
the tone I want. Come into my bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Pardon my jammies.
That's a big thing, right? You know, you crank up the bass and the treble and the gain, and you're like, Judd, yeah, fuck yeah, this is gonna rule. But it's like, no, it doesn't work, with everything else. So
when you stick a mic in front,
yeah, you kind of have to just train your ears to hear how things affect the big picture. How things are gonna fit together.
Yeah,
which is different.
How long you been doing where do you do a recording class out of?
I just started. Well, I've been doing kind of private lessons here and there with people. Just
for recording?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, people just come over and we work on stuff like, one of my kind of best students who kind of ended up being my assistant engineer, and now we actually just work together and collaborate on stuff, is Robert Kukla from Arbitrator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
cool.
So he just hit me up and said, I like your shit, I want to get into recording. And yeah, he just reminded me of myself a lot, very hungry to know, and he was really working on it, he was actually trying the shit out at home and stuff, same as what I did. So now we work together on albums. It's awesome. Like we did this Shark Infested Daughter single together and stuff like that. And I mixed his Arbitrator EP and blah blah blah. But I've been doing that. But now I'm doing a boot camp kind of thing at LaRue Music Studios, which Brian Buss, Young People, those guys. Yeah,
Young People, so, great band. Jung People.
Jung People.
For people who can't spell, or whatever. Google it. Jung People. Yeah. With a J.
So he's really into music and teaching and stuff. So he actually has his own business, his own studio, just teaching.
That's Brian Buss's studio?
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't realize he was running that whole thing.
Yeah, he's running it, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So one day he just kind of, I don't remember how it came up, but he asked me if I wanted to teach recording there.
Cool.
So we just started it. I just did the first one last weekend. But it's really cool. You just get a bunch of different people in the room and say, hey, what do you want to learn? Where are you at?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go with this?
That's nice. And, that's important.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a good teacher, that didn't happen to me in school.
When there's smaller groups, then you can actually do that. And
sure.
And I can learn from them too, and they can learn from each other. Like, let's communicate here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shit that trips people up in terms of the basics, right? Like I said, it's an experience-based skill that you have to do stuff, but at the same time, if you don't know how to hook your interface up, then you just might get pissed off and just say, fuck it, I'm not doing shit.
Yeah.
So this course is very much about the basics of how to get set up, how to get your computer working. One guy's like, fuck, I can't record, my computer just starts,
I know.
the audio's dropping out.
I know.
And I'm like, okay, well, I've been there. And I know 10 things to check that maybe will fix that. That he got pissed off and just said, well, fuck it, and just closed the laptop or whatever. Yeah. So we just worked through it together and get her going,
Funny kind of wild story. When I was first started the Slaughterhouse in like 2004, 2005, Tomislav was working at R.A.C.E.
Yeah.
And I remember I was loading Cubase, and I think it was some weird A to D I had, and I was having total, I was just fucking flipping out. And I was calling Cubase, and being like, man, your shit doesn't work, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, did you assign the buses? And I'm like, what's a bus? And they're like, okay, go to, But I remember they'd be like, yeah, I'll transfer you to Tom. And then I kind of realized years later that they were talking about Tomislav.
Yeah.
So, he dealt with me, melting down, kind of before we even fucking knew each other.
Yeah.
And now, you work with him too, right?
Yeah, we had a studio space, me, Tomislav, and Clay, another dude. That was Perfect Fifth. That was our studio we were running for a while.
Yeah.
Just like a basement studio kind of thing, but we did it all up, treated it all up and stuff. Yeah, we were running that for about 3 years, I think.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So that isn't going anymore.
No, it's not
Fucking
going
price of
anymore.
real estate in this town's retarded, isn't it?
Yeah, the real estate
fucking ridiculous.
thing, yeah, it was just a fucked situation with the landlord. Like, nothing was legal, nothing was legit.
Ah, fuck.
Which was good in one sense, but yeah,
But there's no four corners of a fucking contract.
Yeah,
you gotta worry about.
yeah, he's like, hey, I'm doubling the rent now.
Oh,
so it's like, well,
fucker.
shit, okay. There's nothing we can do. Yeah.
We're getting a fucking inspection. I'm asking to get it lowered.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? This shit's broken. The fucking this fell off.
And
Like,
we didn't use the property.
you know,
yeah,
I've
we
been paying you
totally
out the
did, yeah.
ass for a fucking year. Price of oil's down, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah. So it was shitty, but
Yeah.
we're actually trying to get a new space possibly going at LaRue
Nice.
because they have a basement there that's just undeveloped. Like, it's just
Interesting.
a big empty concrete fucking junk pile. Just a bunch of shit, filing cabinets and stuff in there. So we might get that going, but yeah, I've just been working with other studios locally, like depending on the budget of the band will depend on what studio we go to. You know, if they have money, we'll go to a nice studio.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. You've been working out at OCL, haven't you? How
Yeah.
amazing is that place?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you
It's
explain
fucking
that to the listeners a little bit?
Oh
What
yeah,
the fuck
I
is
can't.
going on out there?
I can't even because
Watch the documentary by Dave Grohl
Yeah.
and then listen to the rest of this podcast.
yeah, it's like until you go out there, you can't really explain it.
Right.
But you know, it's just world class on every level. Like, it's, you know, like if Beyonce's in town, she could fucking go lay a couple tracks there, no problem.
Fuck, eh?
You know,
And
yeah.
out east of town, and
Yeah.
they have like a fucking $1 million Neve board, which is nuts, right?
Yeah, it's actually a famous Neve board. It used to belong to Eric Valentine, who's a massive producer in the
Holy
States.
fuck.
He's done tons of big shit. So yeah, it's
Jesus.
yeah, one of the
How
best
the-
consoles of
fuck.
all time, basically. Yeah, right there. And the room is amazing. You know, yeah, he's got like millions of bucks into it,
Yeah.
and it is amazing.
That's wild. Is there even anywhere like that? I guess there is somewhere like that in Vancouver.
Yeah, you'd
Like-
have to
like-
go to
like-
Vancouver, like the warehouse,
The warehouse
or
the
greenhouse, places like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, those are a couple of those world class places.
Yeah, like Slayer did fucking God Hates Us All there.
yeah.
shit like that.
Those are
Yeah.
top tier world class places as well.
But we have one almost in Calgary now.
almost just outside of Calgary.
That's
yeah,
fucking unreal,
and there's
man.
there's nothing from here east. You know, here to like
Yeah.
Toronto. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, you'll find guys with Pro Tools like X systems or whatever, HDX.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna
Oh, yeah,
have
there's-
a fucking Neve board.
There's lots of
Yeah.
nice rooms and nice studios, no doubt. There's even a few in Calgary that nobody knows about.
Well, remember the Night Deposit?
Yeah, Night Deposit.
Like he had a fucking killer board in SSL, which is like
an
right up there
SSL
too.
4K,
but
$1 million
it's not
board.
a fucking Neve. You know what I mean? It's like now you're really holy fuck.
Yeah, well, it's the other world class studio.
Yeah, Pepsi or Coke for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But he closed down, shut down, so
Yeah,
not
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, it's fucking man. In this town, it's tough to. If you can find that real estate, it's like you need to be like willed real estate by some dying oil man.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
fuck.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
almost
is-
had that place because we've talked about like I'm trying to start the Big Nate Batcave. That's the working title. That
Yeah.
has been for years.
Okay.
but that's been the big challenge is fucking real estate.
Sure, yeah.
Like I
it's
found
crazy.
a place that was great, but it was $5,000 a month. That
Yeah,
means
yeah.
you got to come up with 10 G's to start.
Oh, I know.
And then it's another $5,000.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
another $5,000 at the end of that month.
Yeah,
And
we've
then,
looked too. Even
holy fuck.
even a fucking industrial bay, like just a concrete box, is like $2,000 a month, and it's like, well, fuck you.
Like I found the perfect place, but you'd have to put $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 into it
Yeah.
to develop it out for it to be fucking rad, like it should be, and be done right.
Yeah.
But
it's
anyways,
insane.
hey, I'm still working on it.
we
I'm,
should be landlords, not fucking.
Wait, no, shit. I got into the landlord business because I needed a studio. Like, fuck. Oh, shit. Fuck it, Sacha. Let's just start selling heroin
Yeah.
and
go
fucking
on.
becoming landlord fucking assholes.
Yeah. Well, I think that might work.
I like it. Good
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, I mean that the thing to do, I think, is to like buy a house somewhere where you can have a basement or a garage or whatever, and just convert that. That's what people are doing.
Right, but we need the big rooms. We need the big drum room. That's the missing thing from the fucking all the basement shit.
It's true.
Like even where I do all my work out of Electric Park, which is he's got a rad Pro Tools rig, but it's still that, like, even though it's upstairs, it's still a basement fucking room. It's only 8-foot fucking ceilings.
20-foot ceilings.
You do your best with it, but like there's something that happens with cymbals when you have a 20-foot fucking room. Like all of a sudden you can do you have more options.
Yeah.
So
I'm huge on rooms on my drum sounds. Like,
it's got to be, man.
It's super loud.
Yeah, like I've realized that. I started recording about I think just after you. 04 was when I first started working at the Slaughterhouse, and that's when it was like really started getting into it, and that's the biggest thing I've found. Like your whole fucking drum sound comes from your overheads, and if your overhead's below, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucking screwed.
Cymbals are hard to get right.
You cannot color yourself out of a coloring book.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fucked. If
it's
you don't
because they
have good mics and good pre's on that shit, you're so fucked.
Cymbals are like the entire range of sound almost in one instrument. Like they have a strong transient that you need to capture, and they have a long sustain that you need to capture, and they're really loud, so they excite the space that they're in, and they have a ton of fucking overtones and harmonics,
because there's it's all that high-end frequency reacts so crazy. It's just fucked.
But that initial transient,
so
you need to get really clean too, because they do have a strong initial attack, and if you lose that, you're fucked again.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things to get right.
Fucking A. I agree, man. I've been working with the Press Gang. And they did a record, and then they got me to mix it, and I was like, man, fuck, dude. I think I did this to you once. I was like, here's some tracks, mix them.
Oh,
like, and then so this time I was like, okay, you guys want to record this in your basement? I get it, but just have me come over, like,
totally.
When you're like ready.
Yeah.
And they did that, and it's come out like, I can't wait to put these two recordings next to each other.
Yeah.
Like now I'm sitting there listening to this shit going, fuck, this is a record, man. Like, this is fucking, it's all, yes. It's because, anyways.
Well, that's what I've been doing a lot too, because, with the technology and stuff, a lot of bands want to track themselves, right?
Yeah.
And
much like you did.
Right, sure. Right? Just like how I
Full
started.
circle. Yeah, totally.
So I can't say, that's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
But it is.
It is if the tracks are clipping.
Yeah, if you don't know the basics. So that's what I do is I say, yeah, cool, do it yourself, whatever. I mean, if you can afford it, the best thing is to do it with me. Because I'm there, I'm going to have ideas and hear things and think of things that you probably just won't.
Well, that's what was funny is we were I shouldn't be saying the Press Gang by name, maybe, I don't care, whatever. We were talking at the show, and it was like, what do you think, Nate? And I was like, well, fuck, I wish I just could have been there when you were doing your tracks.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's certain stuff where it was like, I would have fucking been whipping you on.
Yeah.
Dude, no. This part is a thing. You gotta fucking hit that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I love that part about producing. Like, that's
huge.
really neat. Because that's what they're paying you for, is somebody to say, like, to sit there and listen and come up, like, what I say is, like, I will never, the ideas pop into my head. Like, God put them there. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't think of it. Like, it's something, it just, I heard you do that and it went ploop.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm saying. It's not like, I'm Big Nate and I came up with this idea and you need to fucking do this because I say, it's no shit like that. It's like that's,
no, I think what it is
for.
a fresh perspective.
Yes, exactly.
You haven't heard it a million times. So when you hear it as like an outside, just fresh ear, like a fan basically hearing it, you're gonna go, that part's boring.
Yeah,
you should cut that in half and add this other wicked part that you only did for a second.
Yeah.
Why don't we fucking do that more?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a producer brings to the table, is that big picture view. But yeah, anyways, back to the tracking thing is, I've been doing that a lot, is just like, I'll fucking listen to your tracks. Send me the tracks. I won't even charge you for it. Just send me the tracks and let me tell you, that fucking E chord is way out of tune, dude. Like, just do that again, because they don't hear it yet. Their ears haven't matured to that point yet.
And sorry, it's forest for the trees type shit. You're immersed in your own art.
Totally.
And then,
Yeah, you don't hear that one little chord out of tune or that harmony idea or whatever. Just give me a shot at it. And I've also been doing like little training sessions. Like I'll just go to their house where they're tracking, and I'll kind of set their levels. This is a good level. Okay, play a riff. I'll show you how I would, edit it and how I do things. And I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not a secret, hey man, this is what I've learned. Here, take what I've learned to make your shit better. That's what I want, is for you to make the best shit possible. So take all my years of experience and let me show you the best way to do it, and save you some time.
Yeah.
And make it end up as good as possible.
Yeah. Good is good for everybody.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
That's really cool, man, because like you said earlier, like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't you say that's for the people that like come to you and ask for it and want it, right? Because maybe, like you said earlier, it's like you see a bit of yourself in them, where it's like, oh fuck, you want to do this and you're working at it? Yeah, I'll help you.
Totally.
But if it's like, oh, I want to give you a bunch of money and you're gonna like tell me how to do it, or
well, that's fine too. Right. But that's.
I guess if you want to be that guy. No. I mean, if they want to be that guy,
that's just that's the environment that I was brought up in too, where guys like fucking Andy Sneap, like, holy shit, this guy worked with Megadeth, this guy worked with. Whatever, Arch Enemy, and he had no secrets, man. Like, I could ask him whatever, and he said, yeah, well, I really like a 57 on fucking Greenback for Leeds, and whatever. And it's like, it's just amazing. Why would you not kind of pass that torch and try and help someone be the best they can be, and not fucking hoard all that knowledge to yourself? It's like, fuck it.
Fucking A.
Do you have a website, or how do people get a hold of you?
Let's promote your shit.
Okay,
your services.
Let's promote all your shit.
Yeah, sweet. perfectfifthstudio.com, is that it? Can you check? I don't remember.
You were just on it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay. Oh, you just don't have a location anymore.
Yeah, we don't have a
still your
location, but
business.
that's the website. Yeah, you can contact me through
Ninja
there.
shit can be done. I mean, fuck.
Yeah,
they did when the levee breaks in a fucking parking garage or something.
We'll get her done.
Castle or some shit.
You can find me on Facebook. If you look up Every Hour Kills on Facebook, I'm there. And you can contact me through that. LaRue Music, contact them if you want to take a recording class.
And it's spelled all French, so it's like a little
LaRoux,
yeah. LaRoux. There's
we got
an X
that
at
link.
the end. L-E. Oh yeah, it's all in the links. Fuck. Just hit the read more thing.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so hit that and hit me up. I want people to make better shit and make it sound better, and however I can help do that, I want to do it.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
We should do a full bore record.
Okay.
We should do one where like I'm your bitch and you're
Go on.
I'm just I'm just I'm merely, running the wheel.
Sure, anytime.
There's a guy up in the fucking lighthouse. So.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's make records.
Oh, hey, before we end here, so we're at an hour 15, 20, so that's cool.
Shit, that just blew right by.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You have, like, a rack, eh? You have a fucking holy fuck producer rack, don't
Nice
you?
rack.
Like you have a few choice pieces.
Yeah,
I
you
see
know-
you swapping them all the time. I love that you're a horse trader too. I love that.
Well, what's interesting is I did dabble in the analog outboard world.
Right.
So I had a big rack full of analog compressors and EQs and tube EQs and all that good shit.
Right.
But I ended up kind of going back mostly to plugins again.
Yeah.
So like most of the stuff like the EHK, that's 99% plugins.
Right. Fair
And
enough.
so I kept my bus compressor. It's a Dramastic Audio Obsidian, which is like an SSL style bus compressor, but with a side chain and some other nerdy shit.
Nice.
I kept that because that thing's just fucking amazing.
Yeah, I bet.
But fuck, even
I'm just like, okay.
oh yeah.
I just want to lick it.
Yeah, it's a sick one. And but even guitar tones, I did Axe effects for the album. And the technology
it's just leaping.
It's
Fuck,
getting so
Ugh.
good, man. And I've had both. Like I've worked with both enough where I can say, it's good enough. It's just as good. Like
Yeah.
you can't just treat it exactly the same. That's kind of the thing about analog gear, was that it's very forgiving in a sense that you can just crank shit up and it sounds really good.
Yeah.
There's no like with digital, there's kind of a narrower sweet spot.
Yeah,
And
for
you have to problem solve, you have to gain stage a little more carefully and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
as long as you do that, the end result is just as fucking good.
Totally,
And,
yes.
And like funny story, like the Axe
If
effects.
everything's good, right? Like if the whole chain is good all
and
the way
the tracking
in.
is tight.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
And then the
instrument was good,
performance,
and
yes,
the guy
absolutely.
played hard. Yeah, all that.
Fuck yeah.
All that is still is
Yeah,
always.
we're that's a given.
There's no fixing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you fucking gear you have. Yeah.
There's no fixing suck.
Yeah, and that's another thing people don't understand.
They don't understand that.
Doesn't matter how much you polish shit, it's still
Yeah,
Yeah,
polishing a turd, man.
They did that
You
on
can't do it.
Mythbusters.
Yeah, did they?
You can do it.
Oh, yeah.
They did it. Yeah, yeah.
Does it turn into diamond
No,
eventually?
no, but it's really shiny shit.
But it's still shit.
yeah, it is still a ball of shit.
Yeah.
They're like myth busted.
So the thing was with analog is that it sounds great, it's easy to use, it's fun to twiddle knobs and shit, but
Yeah.
the workflow is difficult because you have to print everything in real time.
Yes.
You have to recall all the settings. So for a guy like me, I might be working on 3 bands mixes at once.
Yeah.
So if I go to mix A, then I have to set all the EQs from my iPhone fucking picture of what it was and
Right.
hope it's exactly the same as when I
Yeah.
mixed it. So so the workflow is difficult. Whereas with the plugin, you fucking load the project and boom,
Save.
it's
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, that just happened with the digital world as far as live audio too. Like I was so
Oh, yeah.
fucking happy at Dickens when we got that board. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's
the same thing.
The workflow, like you're talking
Oh,
about,
yeah.
like once, especially now,
Touch
like
of a button.
I, the other night last night I was working. The Real Mackenzies had their own tech, and he was this old school guy from fucking Kansas, Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, yeah?
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I worked on one of these once," and you're like, "Oh yeah, cool, right on." And then I was like, anyways, I felt like I had to save him, and at one point, just for a second. Like, because he was getting lost you can kind of get lost in the digital menus. And fucking, I pulled this total data move. It was hilarious. It was just like I was like, holy fuck, I'm really starting to get this bored. Because I was like data.
Yeah. Well, it's
awesome.
it's you can see that parallel in photography too. What happened is like people were like, no, digital never replace film.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Kodak.
Kodak said that. Sure, great example. And then
They just
one
went out of
day
business, didn't they?
They did. They went bankrupt. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they didn't adapt.
You know who else
man.
did?
Kind of sad.
The encyclopedia salesman.
Yeah.
And there's another one I was thinking of the other day. It's like, sorry, man, the music business.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't fucking shift and change and get your
Yeah.
shit together, what the fuck?
And
You're
realize,
gonna die. You're gonna
and
fucking
technology is exponential. That's what people don't realize. Is like this thing. Yeah, today it might be super expensive and huge and really
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
But just give it 10 years
Yeah.
and it'll be in your phone or whatever. Like
Yeah,
everything's
yeah.
exponentially
Yeah.
gets smaller, cheaper, more powerful.
Yeah.
So why the fuck wouldn't we be able, like, we can land a fucking spaceship on a comet.
dude, I
I'm
know.
pretty sure we can figure out digital EQ.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like, let's just
Yeah.
be real.
Well, and why isn't there just one board that like Russia makes that you can put anything into? It's like your phone, or you just like talking to your phone and it just fucking.
Oh, yeah, that'll come.
Junk
That'll
like that.
come.
I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Give it
Pro
time.
Tools venue boards. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
The Pro Tools venue
Those are
board. It's
sick.
like you can apply all the settings you had on Pro Tools.
Yeah.
The Primus had one.
Yeah.
And I was watching this guy and I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
I remember it was that, not the last tour, but the one before, they were like, you did not have to have earplugs in. Like, it sounded, they might as well have just been fucking playing the CD. Like, but you could tell they weren't. Like,
Yeah.
you do cool. Les is always rad for improvising.
Yeah.
But it was so wild. That was the first time I saw that, and I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, you can load all the Pro Tools shit? And it was like, yeah. And then I've met a bunch of guys, that on tour with bands, and at the university, my buddy was using one, and he let me get in there and look at it, and he's like, yeah, check it out. Like a smack, you can apply a smack
Yeah,
to,
sure.
and any fucking, like, you could have any bundle of plugins and fucking apply it
Waves
in a
is
live
doing the
setting.
same thing. Waves has live. They've put all their plugins live
It's fucking
with
wild.
hardware. Yeah, so you can use any Waves plugin that you might have used on your mix. Just,
So it's with hardware, the cards.
yeah, just basically
yeah.
a computer.
Yeah,
It
nice.
runs the shit.
Yeah.
And and
cards
there
a
you
rack
go.
mount. Gee, fuck, Pro Tools, cards a rack mount. Like,
Yeah.
it couldn't have done that from the beginning, you fucking assholes. You gotta
Yeah.
put the card in your fucking computer like a dick, or you can't turn on Pro Tools. Fuck. Hey, that's probably why. Is that why you're a Cubase guy? That has to be something to do with it, is it not?
That's part of it, sure. Yeah, Pro Tools. When I started with Cubase, Pro Tools was $10,000.
Yeah.
You know,
You had to buy the hardware.
Yeah.
You couldn't turn on the $250 software.
yeah.
It's fucked up.
I just learned on Cubase. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
what I
fair enough,
started
yeah.
with, and
It's
still
more like
love it.
open source.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does everything Pro Tools does,
Yeah,
just maybe
exactly.
slightly different ways.
They all do, really.
But they all do, exactly.
Yeah.
There's all the DAWs basically achieve the same
Yeah.
thing in slightly different ways. So
Exactly, yeah.
use what use what you're comfortable with. That's where I'm at. I have no reason to switch. I'm never like, oh fuck, I can't do this. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in the gang war.
Exactly.
Quit reading magazines. Go do stuff. Or quit taking magazines so seriously. Go do stuff.
Yeah, man. I can any DAW I could learn and do whatever you want. Like just
Yeah, totally.
don't.
I want to try Reaper.
Reaper's awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Rob uses.
It's like $60 for the whole fucking thing.
It's free
It's free.
for a demo that'll
Oh, for
never
demo.
run out, and it's
What?
fully functioning.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so they're like, here you go.
That's
Play
fucking
with it for
awesome.
as long
See,
as you
that'll
want.
take over.
Yeah, and if you like it, give us $60 if you want sometime.
Pro Tools'
Cool.
worst fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it's pretty powerful, yeah. But, I have no reason to switch. I love Cubase. Fuck it. But
Yeah.
other guys that are just starting out, definitely check out Reaper, see if you like it.
I like Logic. I've been working on Logic for
Yeah,
like
and
5
lots of
years
people
now.
love Logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but it doesn't really matter. It's like, do you know stuff? Okay, then you know where the knob is and you can do the thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
if you can make it do what you want to do, then make some fucking music.
Fucking A. Well, I want to just say thanks for. We're gonna officially end the podcast right now.
All right.
We may or may not get harder in Nate's backyarder. We're drinking some gin. We might have another drink. I don't know what's gonna happen. But thanks for being here.
For sure,
It was
man.
a fucking
Thank
pleasure.
you.
We talked
My
about
pleasure.
a lot of
That was
rad
really
fucking shit.
interesting, yeah.
Was it? Good. Yeah. I could nerd out about music shit all fucking night.
Well, fuck, come on again. I need help. I want to pump these fuckers out. It's all about content creation.
Okay. Yeah,
Fucking,
let's-
we could just.
It feels like we hardly talked about it much. Like we
I know.
could go so much further.
Well, we will. If we so choose to decide, we can keep going. But this is I think we will be back because I want to ask you about some stuff, some future technology stuff, and just get your take on it and your first reaction.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the end of the official podcast. If you want to get fucking really hard, or if you want to knit more, if you see, I told you it's Nate's knitting party,
Yeah.
right? See,
Knit
We're-
Nate.
the
Oh, you
podcast
mean
doesn't really start until my wife starts knitting. While I've been doing these podcasts, my wife has clothed Africa.
Yeah, she's fast as fuck at that shit.
Dude, she's getting fucking ninja. It's crazy.
Even have to look.
This is Metalfest merch.
Yeah. When you see the hand knit koozies from Metalfest. Limited
Yeah.
edition.
Oh shit, hand knit koozies. Fucking rights. Let's go.
This is Mark Russell's blanket.
Oh, Mark Russell's blanket. Oh shit.
Good thing it's
You're
white
welcome.
already.
This podcast is brought to you by Big Nate Productions, Calgary Metalfest, and Right Hook Bikes. Put a .com on the end of all those. Go to all of it. Buy all the things. Share, everybody. Share this shit.
Every hour kills, son.
Check out Every Hour Kills.
What else would you like us to play?
Check
right
out
now?
Perfect Fifth. Yeah, we're going to play a tune. What should we play? And then we're going to play Get the Fuck Off Our Bus at
gonna-
the end.
Okay.
By oh shit. That's the outro tune. Nobody ever listens that long though.
Play our other song, The Chosen. Let's
Okay.
check that out. Don't play any Divinity. Fuck those guys.
Ah! Oh shit.
Getting hard.
I can't do any editing.
Yeah, I had a
I'm
couple
not
gins.
capable.
Let's get real, son.
All right. We're going to come back at you after this tune. Hard as fuck. That was chosen by Every Hour Kills. Google them. They're awesome. Like most of us, Sacha had places to go, people to see. He couldn't get super crazy for the second edition, unfortunately. I don't think anybody listens this far anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I've noticed that some people have been listening, which they've said stuff to me on the street. And
Well, some
like,
you
I
need
heard you
to.
say that. So I'm glad you're listening. Thanks for listening, everybody. And
Yeah.
thanks, Sacha.
Especially number 6. Listen to that one all the way through. That one's 3 hours
That's
long,
Nancy's
but it's worth
favorite,
it. Yeah.
The Bourgeois brothers. So thanks again for listening, and thanks to Sacha for being on, and thank you, Nancy, for helping out as always.
You're welcome.
Right on. Thanks for knitting.
Get the fuck off of our